Hello, it's been a while since I was regularly making videos, so I thought I'd give an update on the channel while I drink some Moxie. Good. So basically the reason I haven't made many videos is I've been absolutely swamped. A number of things contributed to this. One of them was a big project I've been working on since last spring, namely, getting this barn up. It's a prefab barn, but there was still a lot of work. Staining the inside, starting to paint the outside, which as you can see didn't happen in time for winter. Doing the electrical. I did most of it, and there was quite a lot to do. Conduit is quite time consuming. And then putting up a bunch of fence. Morning, girls. And even more fence. Not quite done yet. There are a bunch of gates that need to be hung before the cows can get out there. It's been quite a lot of work. Hello. Add to this that I changed jobs in the spring. A new job always takes a lot of time getting up to speed, learning all the new stuff. I had to do some travel for training and so on. Plus my youngest has had more health issues this year, especially lately. So it's been kind of a grind, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to do anything with the channel or any of my personal projects. And no, the barn is not my personal project. That's my wife's project. One of the other areas that I've been neglecting is diet and exercise. I need to get on that soon, but I wanted to do a couple videos on some local beverages first before I got on the health kick. Because, well, alcohol and sugary soda aren't exactly the most healthy things, are they? So, here we are. So I'm starting with Moxie, which as you can see there is distinctively different. It is indeed. Moxie is a soft drink that's not well known anymore outside this region. It's still very popular around here, kind of northern New England and Maine in particular. In fact, I live near Lisbon, Maine, which is home of the yearly Moxie Festival. So Moxie is a kind of a root beer, but it's not a typical root beer. It's made with gentian root, I think that's how it's pronounced. And that's a very bitter tasting flavor. So if you're going to make an analogy between like regular beer and root beer, if your typical root beer was like a lager, then you could say Moxie's like a bitter or an IPA. It's a much stronger flavor, more bitter. It's very much a love it or hate it kind of a thing. Very much an acquired taste. I would say probably more people, even around here, more people don't like it than like it, but those who do like it tend to like it quite a lot. So I'm one of those who does enjoy Moxie, and not just the flavor of it, but it's also kind of nostalgic for me. Not just this really cool old-fashioned label with the soda jerk here, like in the old days, but it's also kind of personally nostalgic. So my uncle grew up in Massachusetts. He loves Moxie, grew up drinking it, and then he moved to Maryland, where you just couldn't get it. So when I was a kid, he'd come up in the summers to visit and bring the cousins. And when he'd head back, he'd load up his station wagon just full of Moxie to last him the rest of the year and kind of ration it out. So it reminds me of like summer days as a kid and seeing my cousins and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. I suppose nowadays with the internet, you can probably, if you're motivated, obtain it somehow anywhere in the country. Maybe internationally, I don't know. But you won't find it stocked on shelves really outside of this area. In Maine, you're going to find it in like every supermarket will have it, every convenience store will have it stocked along with the more nationally known sodas. But yeah, anywhere else it's pretty tough. So the word, however, is still in pretty common use, meaning like, hey, you got Moxie, kid. It means like you've got pep or vigor or spirit, and so on. And many people think that the drink was named after the word, especially people who haven't never heard of the drink before. But it's actually the other way around. Moxie had a very successful advertising campaign way back when, and associating the name of the drink with those qualities, and then the word took on sort of an independent meaning, and is in some ways kind of outlived the drink itself. Yeah, it's still in somewhat common use. In fact, Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller, his daughter is named Moxie Crime Fighter Gillette. Like, what a name, right? So, like a lot of these soft drinks that have a long history, go way back, Coca-Cola, for example, Moxie also started as a patent medicine. It was advertised as Moxie Nerve Food. It's good for your nerves, supposedly. And in the late 1800s, and it was supposed to cure all kinds of things for you. Let's take a list here. Some of the things it cures include paralysis, softening of the brain, nervousness, and insomnia. I don't know if the original formulation had caffeine in it, but the current one does. And so I wouldn't think that drinking a lot of Moxie would be really good for nervousness and insomnia. But there you go. Maybe it's still good for softening of the brain. I don't know. I haven't had my brain softness checked lately. So if Moxie wasn't named after the adjective, where did the name come from? Well, apparently it's an Abenaki word. Abenaki is the name of the kind of group of local tribes and the group language family that they spoke. And apparently in Abenaki it means dark water, which is kind of an appropriate name. By the way, this is not a promotional video for Moxie. I did just break 50 subscribers, which is kind of cool for me. The channel has actually grown. The rate of growth has picked up quite a bit while I wasn't making videos, which is interesting and surprising. But yeah, 50 subscribers, even for a tiny local regional company like Moxie, 50 subscribers is nothing. I don't think I could even get a free bottle of Moxie for doing an endorsement. But not that I'm looking for endorsements anyway, but yeah, I'm not on anybody's radar. I'm just doing this because I like the stuff, and it's in a kind of a unique local tradition, I guess, with a lot of history behind it, and something you might not see on other weird channels. But yeah, that leads me back to talking about the channel. So I'm hoping I can get back to making some videos soon, more videos. Like I said, I've been surprised by how much growth has happened while I wasn't making videos. I did a video on that growing and shrinking Christmas tree, and that just like took off all of a sudden. I guess some radio station posted on their website, and then it kind of went, well, viral is really exaggerating how it went, but it did spread quite a bit. That's now my most watched video. And that was just kind of a unplanned thing. I was in Home Depot and I saw this weird tree and thought, oh, I should film that. Unplanned, And then some of the other videos that have been popular surprised me. The one on the RAM set did pretty well. That one doesn't surprise me so much. I think it's kind of interesting, and there weren't a lot of other videos about it at the time, so that was kind of interesting. Not so surprising it took off. The one that really surprised me, and until the Christmas tree one took off, the one that really surprised me was the thermostat thing. Where did that go? Until the Christmas tree video was my most popular one, was the one in these old Honeywell thermostats. That one has done really well, and I kind of haven't figured out why. It's not like it got linked from anywhere. It just seems to kind of organically have become very popular. And mostly people viewing it through search results and just recommendations, the automated recommendations, which is kind of cool. I kind of did that as an afterthought to the other videos on the EcoBees, which I thought those would be popular. And then this would just nobody would stick around to watch the one in this, but it's actually the most popular video in the series on the thermostat. So that's pretty cool. So it just goes to show that I can't really predict what's going to be popular or not. So I'm just going to do stuff that interests me, and hope other people find it interesting as well. So anyway, look forward to more videos coming soon, especially a couple more beverage-based videos. Cheers. Moxie.